With the search warrant executed at the home of missing Kansas City baby Lisa Irwin. In a moment, we'll talk to the private investigator now working with the Irwin family. But first, NBC's Peter Alexander is in Kansas City with details. Peter, good morning.
And good morning to you. Investigators came right back where they started. This was an exhaustive search. They were here till 1 o'clock in the morning, nearly 16 hours on site to execute that search warrant, as you note. They would not reveal exactly what they found, but it's obvious the question they're still trying to answer is, where is baby Lisa?
Their marathon search lasted late into the night. Crime scene investigators dressed in sterile white suits, testing, analyzing, combing every inch of the Irwin family home for any sign of baby Lisa. Technicians carried away what appeared to be X-ray film to be examined inside bomb and arson trucks on site. All day long, with shovels and rakes, crews scoured the property, at times seen digging and prodding behind a shed in the backyard. Nearby, detectives searched the roof and gutters, even the bird feeder, for hidden clues. Investigators collected bags of potential evidence. They've been here before, at least 7 separate times, to the house where Lisa's parents say their baby daughter disappeared October 4th. So why now, and why this time armed with a search warrant?
Law enforcement is responding, I think, in part to the fact that the family now is represented by counsel. So I think that they're matching strategies with the family.
Neither the FBI nor Kansas City police would reveal exactly what they were looking for. Still, it seems clear authorities suspect the Irwin family home holds secrets to this baffling mystery, now more than 2.5 weeks old.
These investigators have developed new information, new leads that tell them there is evidence inside that home that they had not looked for or found on prior searches.
Baby Lisa's parents, Deborah Bradley and Jeremy Irwin, insist their child was abducted and told NBC News on Sunday they fear someone was scouting out their home.
What do you guys think happened to Lisa?
Somebody watched us. Somebody waited. I don't know for how long.
For now, Deborah and Jeremy are staying with relatives and say they're praying for their daughter's safe return.
Will you ever move back into the home?
I don't want to move back unless I have her. It's not the same.
We reached out to the attorney for Lisa's parents, Joe Tacopina in New York, who released this statement specifically about the search warrant, saying, I don't know why a warrant is needed. They can go in and out anytime. They have had unfettered access because we want answers. Ann?
Peter Alexander, thank you. Bill Stanton is a private investigator hired by a friend of Lisa's family. Bill, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Why the X-rays? Are they possibly not just looking for evidence, but possibly for baby Lisa herself?
Absolutely. They're probably looking for multiple things, DNA, potentially if she was buried under the house, etc.
And this idea that a bomb and arson truck were brought in, even though there is no evidence of explosives in the house. What's your response to that? What's your assessment of that?
I'll just take a guess. Maybe there's a component of that bomb truck where they could search for vapors, maybe of a deceased body.
Well, are they showboating the police?
I would never say that against a police department.
Are they doing a good job?
From my optic, yes, they are.
And so if they're doing such a good job, why are your services required?
Because I'm putting a different set of eyes on it. I'm not going over their homework. I'm doing a parallel but different course.
You're saying that you're an independent investigator, and as I just mentioned, you're hired by a friend of Lisa's family. Can you tell something to us about who hired you so we understand whether or not you are in fact truly independent?
Absolutely. It's an important note and distinction to make. While I'm working with the family, I'm not working for the family. This benefactor, the directives we spoke of was find the baby and take the truth wherever it goes. If that truth leads me to their guilt, so be it.
Okay, so then, but this person who's paying your bills, does that person have power over when and whether you release information?
Oh, no, absolutely not. Any and all information that I get, it's a one-way street. I give it directly to the Kansas City Police Department. I don't ask for anything in return. I give it over, good, bad, or ugly. And remember, I do have access to the family. When I went to them and I told them, if you're guilty, I will look to have you arrested, they said no problem. They said whatever you need. That did impress me.
But if you do have information that they are either guilty or if you have information that a kidnapper took this baby, then do you feel that you have a moral obligation not to wait, but rather to go directly to the police?
We're not waiting at all.
Who are you going to go to? Are you going to go to the police?
Yes,
Are you going to go to the family,
we have
or
a
the person who pays your
pipeline. There's a
salary?
contact number. I have news for you. We are giving all the information. We are not even necessarily giving the family the information that we get.
Mm-hmm. So meantime, what is your current theory?
My current theory is at this time I am looking outside the home because everybody's saying the family did it, and I am absolutely looking at them, but then you tell me how they did it. Did she drive? Did he do it? Did she do it? Did she walk and take the baby and dispose of the baby? That's the tough question. So when you eliminate those, then you have to entertain the idea that someone came from outside the home. Look at the phone records. Get bloodhounds to follow her scent in case she took that baby and hid it somewhere by foot. Go over all those variables. Look at that real hard. Then if it's not coming up as they did it, then you have to look outside the home.
Right, exactly. But you seem to be indicating that they would have to be very good criminals if the parents actually did it.
You make a good point. They would have to be master criminals.
Why?
Because it's virtually a perfect crime. There is nothing leading. You look at their timeline. You look at what happened. She was sleeping in the bed with her boy. So now you can't wake up the kids. You have to, I would assume this was done by accident. If she did, let's say she shook the baby or over-medicated the baby, she had the timeline between, let's say, 10:30 and 3:45. How did she do all this, not knowing if her husband was going to come home at any minute? It's just very hard to wrap my hands around. So when I talk over with my team and we go over this and understand for hours and hours, it keeps coming back to the potentiality that someone from outside the home.
But you still have no evidence of that either.
No, nobody does. And it's important. Anything, all our findings, even theories, we hand over because what we may think is innocent or innocuous, the PD may think is their key. So they're getting it all.
All right. Well, Bill Stanton, thank you so much for bringing a little bit of clarity to something.
And if I could just make a note, there is a $100,000 reward. So hopefully someone will look to collect on that.
All right. Thank you so much.